In every civilization, this story appears. But the truth lies deeper.
Before languages scattered, before nations divided, there was a single vision.
Long before the tower, the world spoke with one voice, one people, one dream. This was the age of unity, when humanity moved as one. They built together, lived together, and dreamed of building something far greater. Where forgotten worlds rest in silence, we awaken their stories. One people, one language, no confusion, no borders. A monument to unity. A tower that would touch the heavens. And in the plains of Shinar, a single idea began to take shape.
From every corner of the land, thousands gathered to build the impossible. They created a brick stronger than any before, a material worthy of reaching the heavens.
And so the foundation was set, a beginning for something that would defy the sky. Ambition spread through the camp like fire. Not even the heavens felt unreachable now.
They imagined a tower rising not in steps, but in a perfect ascending spiral.
With every sunrise, the tower grew taller, and the earth beneath it trembled. For months, the people labored without pause, driven by a dream greater than themselves.
And soon, a whole city rose around the tower, a civilization built for a single purpose.
Soon the tower rose so high, it cast a shadow across the entire plain.
The higher they climbed, the more the world below began to disappear. And for the first time, their voices no longer matched their intentions. Ambition gave birth to a giant, a monument not even they could control.
The heavens answered their ambition with fire. And at last, the tower began to fall. And at last, the tower began to fall.
And as confusion spread down the tower, the city below collapsed into madness.
The voices that once led thousands could no longer lead even one.
A seagull fracture now held the face of the tower. And at last, the tower split as its people had. The great spiral that once lifted them skyward now dragged everything down. Those who once stood united now fled divided. And the tower that sought the heavens returned to the dust. The heart of the tower gave out, and with it, the dream that birthed it. When the storm passed, only ruins remained. And the people who once moved as one, now walked apart into the unknown. From confusion came division, and from division, the First Nations. And though the tower fell, its shadow remained etched into human memory. Where thousands once labored together, silence claimed everything. Language split them apart, and tribes were born.
No one dared rebuild, for the tower had become a warning.
And from the ashes of one city, the world's nations began their long journey. Only fading embers remold of a dream too vast for its builders. Once united by one voice, now divided by many. And the tower that challenged the heavens was swallowed by the sands of time. From one place they scattered to become the many. And those who remembered carried the story into every corner of the world. The story traveled farther than the people, changed by every tongue that spoke it. And from broken speech, new languages were born.
And the fallen tower rose again in stories that shaped civilizations.
As centuries passed, the memory of the tower survived in every culture it touched.
And the great tower itself slipped quietly beneath the desert.
What began as confusion became the foundation of human culture.
And in every language born from that day, the tower still speaks.
In time, the desert reclaimed every stone.
New stories rose, but all carried the same ancient shadow.
And above the forgotten ruins, new empires rose in the cradle of civilization.
Buried far below, traces of the true tower still endured.
The tower that once reached for the heavens became nothing more than a whisper in the wind.
Yet the story traveled farther than any builder ever did. Empires rose and fell, but every one of them told the tale. And humanity carried its greatest lesson forward, that unity is powerful and fragile.
In time, even the ruins forgot themselves.
Yet the echo of one ancient tower lived on in 1,000 stories. And from their scattering, the shape of our world began to emerge.
Even in ruins, the tower continued to teach.
Every trace of the tower rose, only to be swallowed again.
Their new tongues shaped their cultures, and their cultures shaped the world.
From one voice came 1,000. The fall of the tower reshaped humanity in ways that echo across every land. Beneath the sand, the bones of the tower still sleep. Empires rose and fell, but the desert kept its secret. And long after its stones were lost, the story endured.
The farther the people traveled, the farther the story spread.
Every land reshaped the tale, but the heart of the story never changed.
From the fragments of one people, the civilizations of the world took root. And far from the world's new nations, the ruins waited, silent and forgotten. Even centuries later, scholars sought the truth behind the tower. All that remained were fragments without a name. And myths became the pillars of belief.
And the broken tower whispered a warning to every age that followed.
Every generation looked back to the moment when mankind became many.
The desert protected its secret, burying the last stones of the tower forever.
Yet the idea survived, a memory of unity, ambition, and consequence.
And across millennia, the story lived on. Across continents and centuries, the memory of the tower refused to fade. And when the story reached its final line, the truth stood clear.
From one shattered dream, 1,000 new beginnings emerged. And though the tower fell, its story lives on in every language we speak today.
The past never truly sleeps.